So you're hearing a lot about it, you're reading a lot about it, it's everywhere in the news and on social media. What exactly is the problem with Bitcoin? What is the forking? Is it going to happen? And what do you need to know about it? I'm going to try and explain in simple terms and strip it down to the basics. What exactly is the Bitcoin forking all about? Hello and welcome to this episode of Bitcoin Simplified. I'm your host OJ. I'm going to try and explain in simple terms what is Bitcoin forking. And what exactly is the problem with Bitcoin? Let's first start with what is happening and why are we talking about this possible forking. Bitcoin right now is facing a challenge. It's in these stages of its development when it's become quite popular and widely used, and there's a big backlog on transactions. They're happening quite slowly these days, and that also raises the fees. So we are facing a problem of scalability. It's becoming really popular, really widely used, and more and more transactions are happening on a daily basis. So the current block size limit is just 1 megabyte, which is something that was not originally it was designed to be a much bigger capacity, but it was limited very early on to that 1 megabyte because there were quite a lot of hacking attacks on the blockchain. So that was a measure that was taken to prevent such attacks, and it was supposed to be just a temporary measure. For some reason it was never changed. So currently we are seeing a big backlog on transactions, often amounting to over 100,000 pending transactions waiting for confirmations on hours, sometimes waiting for days. I've had a transaction that was waiting for over 30 hours to be confirmed. And also that increases the fees, because we know that many providers allow you to choose your fee, so therefore you can change the fee to a higher one and kind of jump the queue. The other day I was doing a video about Ledger Nano Wallet, and I wanted to do the fee really quickly so that I can record it on camera and everything, so I had to go for the highest fee, and it was just over $1. So I paid over $1 for a transaction that was $7 or something like that, which is a massive fee when you look at it. Of course, I could have gone for the cheaper fee, which would be around 50 cents, which is also quite a high fee. So that's pretty much your average fee these days, is around 50 cents of $1, and it used to cost 4 cents, then it was 7. A few years ago was 25, then was 35, even last year it was 35. So very quickly these fees are rising, and now we are facing a big industry here. Bitcoin is a $20 billion industry, and we're seeing around $350,000 being spent in fees on Bitcoin transactions per day. So there are a lot of politics and a lot of interests involved in the way Bitcoin is working at the moment. And also on the other hand, there are new coins that come into play, and they're trying to compete with Bitcoin with superior blockchains and new developments. We have Dash with instant pay. We have Ethereum with a much superior blockchain, and a lot of developers being interested in the blockchain of Ethereum. We also have Zcash that is having a lot of anonymity and privacy, better privacy than Bitcoin. So at some point Bitcoin really needs to find a way to compete with these currencies and be the leader of the market as we see it today. Is that going to be the future? We can't really tell, and Bitcoin needs to rise up to the challenge to meet this market demand for speed and usability and price. And let's explain the forking. The forking basically means change in the software, and you have soft fork and hard fork. The soft fork is when you have a minor change in the software that does not require 100% of the miners and nodes, users, miners or networks that are using Bitcoin to be upgraded to the new version, but they can do that at their own pace. A hard fork is when the change is too different, so it needs to be everyone needs to upgrade to that new version, otherwise you can no longer read that software. Therefore, in a hard fork, you're having basically a split of that blockchain into two versions, version A and version B. And version A would be the older version, the one which is currently Bitcoin Core. Version B would be the new upgraded version with the change in software, which would be Bitcoin Unlimited. Bitcoin Core, these are basically the miners that and the developers that have currently developed Bitcoin the way we know it today and the way we work with it today. They support the 1 megabyte limit on the blocks, and they have proposed something called SegWit, segregated witness. It's just a sort of a change in the software that would allow for the blocks to be upgraded twice the size, 2 megabytes. It is something that Bitcoin Unlimited, the opposing camp, doesn't quite agree with. They don't really see it as a very good solution. They see it as just a temporary solution to the problem. So they really want something a bit more drastic. And the change they propose is going to be incompatible with the Bitcoin software that is currently being run. So it will create a new coin. And in the end, we're basically going to have two coins that the market will have to decide which one would be the dominant coin. And most of the people are putting the money in that coin. They will be dumping the other coin, which will create a big devaluation in the price. And it will probably happen like with Ethereum when it hard forked more than a year ago. We saw Ethereum Classic go really down in price, and Ethereum Core, which is the current expensive Ethereum, was jumped to something like $50 at the moment. Ethereum Classic is only $2, and that's recently. It was $1 until a couple of weeks ago. So yes, there is a little bit of movement there as well, but nothing like what we're seeing with Ethereum Core. So if we have Bitcoin Unlimited and Bitcoin Core, it's most likely that Bitcoin Core, at least currently most of the Bitcoin community is rooting for Bitcoin Core. It's most likely that this will be the dominant currency, and Bitcoin Unlimited will be seen just as an alternative coin. Is this likely to occur, and how it will affect us? Well, if more than half of the nodes, and these are merchants and users and miners, agree on the changes proposed by Bitcoin Unlimited, a hard fork will be possible, and there will be two coins, each adhering to their own rules and public opinion. And the public opinion is that Bitcoin Unlimited will probably end up as an alternative coin. Many alternative coins are just different versions of Bitcoin, and my research shows that Bitcoin Unlimited is not really well received yet. So if they do it very soon, it's most likely that Bitcoin Unlimited will not have a very good performance, at least in the first few months. Right now, it seems that the public opinion is kind of swaying more towards Bitcoin Core, which is the current Bitcoin version. Therefore, that will probably keep its price. Even if it suffers a bit of a blow, it will probably be just for a couple of months, and it will recover very soon after that. Bitcoin Unlimited, however, is currently already being traded only on, as speculating market. It's being traded for around $300, and I don't really see it getting any higher than that. It's most likely that it will go down in price first before anything else happens. It might go up after that, depending on what kind of support they see in the future. But in the short run, we must be guaranteed that the price is going to be very volatile, and every time there is talk of forking, the price goes down by 10, sometimes 20%. We currently saw it go down by about 12% or something like that. So it's something to be expected. And if you're not really a trader, I know that many people are turning into alternative coins, and they're trying to spread their money into, to diversify their portfolio, get a bit of Ethereum, a bit of Dash and other coins. But if you're not really a trader, and you're not really in a rush to spend your Bitcoin, it's probably best to just keep it as it is, but make sure that you keep it offline or in an open source wallet. Because if you're keeping your Bitcoin in a cloud storage like Coinbase or Circle, both of them issued statements recently, and they sent these emails to customers kind of advising them to take their Bitcoin out of there, because they're supporting Bitcoin Core, and they cannot guarantee that they will be supporting Bitcoin Unlimited, which means that if a split occurs, if a hard fork occurs, your Bitcoin is with Coinbase, you will be able to only use Bitcoin Core. And customers who own their own keys for their own wallets, like a Ledger or Trezor offline cold storage wallets. These customers will be able to spend their Bitcoin on both platforms, so it's kind of like doubling your Bitcoin. You will have the same amount of Bitcoin in BTC and BTU. So it is advisable to get a cold storage, at least in the meantime. Store your Bitcoin offline or in an open source storage. I'm not sure about blockchain, so please leave a comment below the video if you know if blockchain is going to support both. Coinbase has already warned that they will be supporting only Bitcoin Core. I have another couple of videos about Nano Ledger S. This is the offline wallet that I'm using. It's the cold storage that I'm using, and I'm also a big supporter of Trezor, even though I personally don't use it. Also, if you want to switch between alternative coins and you're not really a trader, I have another video that explains how to trade coins without being a trader. Basically, there are a couple of wallets that allow you to store different coins, and you can switch your coins inside your wallets without necessarily having to go to a public exchange and be a trader and place bets and all of that stuff. So make sure that you check that video as well. Thanks for watching. I hope this is making things easier. I hope I managed to cover everything and give you some advice. And if you liked that video, give me a thumbs up, or if you disliked it, give me the thumbs down. I'm going to respond to comments, so leave a comment below, and you can add me on Facebook as well. My link is below the video.